Blundell Park, Luton Town manager Nathan Jones, your thoughts on a 1-1 draw with Grimsby?
Well, after 95 minutes I'm disappointed, if I'm honest, because obviously with the late penalty you think, well, okay, you can win it, and then we would have gone away. And I mean, I think it was pretty much an even game, much of a muchness. We were nowhere near where we needed to be first half. The intensity levels we had were nowhere near, but never looked under any real danger in anything. And then second half we didn't start particularly well, and I was going to change stuff and I just couldn't get the change on until I think, and then they scored. We didn't defend it properly, didn't defend the box well enough, and then we scored. And then look, there's only one team then going to go on and do anything. We got the goal, we were pushing, we had chance after chance to have won the game. And then obviously you think you're going to win it when you have the penalty, but we missed the penalty. And look, Danny's been brilliant for me. He scored all his penalties. He's been absolutely outstanding. That's a missed opportunity for us today.
I mean, let's just talk about that penalty miss. Obviously, Danny on the top of the charts for penalty taking one. Now he's back in the team. Straight down the middle, the keeper's blocked it, but then Danny's headed it home, but the referee's disallowed it. Do we know why? What's the situation?
It's soft, but you can see why. And after he's given such a late one, look, he wouldn't want to miss another thing like that. Look, he gave us our opportunity to win the game, and we should have won the game. You know, a penalty you expect to score, and that would have given us a wonderful win. Because look, second half we were way a lot more at it. We pressed a little bit more, and there was only one side going to ever win that game. And that's what I'm disappointed with, because we had to wait until we got sucker punched really. To really start going. And once we did get going, look, I'm sure we're a good side we are, but we can't keep doing that, because others around us are not waiting to get sucker punched and then react. They're taking opportunities, and we say how good we are. Now we've got to prove it.
And I mean, you talked about the sucker punch there. I mean, that was one of a rare attack for Grimsby in the second half. We can discount the first half, and not a lot to talk about there really, was there? But
boring, in fact. Yeah.
But the goal came, but after that you made the changes, and it looked a different kind of setup from Luton. Just talk to us about what Ollie Palmer brought and what the change in formation brought to the town.
Well, we weren't getting, our midfield weren't getting on it. We were getting a bit out-muscled in terms of Jake Gray and Luke. Now we know they probably weren't getting, it wasn't a game for them today in terms of a fluent game, so we won't be able to get those in the game. So what we did, we just went three up front. Now with three up front, we know that if we can get it into them with quality, they're potent. When we have three different ones, we have Vassell who's pure pace, we have Danny who's a bit of everything, and then obviously Ollie was a real good target for us. So we just felt we needed, as I said, a little bit more of a plan B, and I thought we were excellent, we really did. But then once we had that sort of stability up front and we were getting on the first board, then Jordan Cook, then Pelly Ruddock, our runners were really coming into it, and we were getting into areas. Plus we now have a little bit more of a threat aerially, so when we do get into areas we can put it in, because we have that. Look, I thought we were excellent for the last sort of 35 minutes of the game, but bang average up till then.
I mean, frustrating when that happens, but it's good that you've got those players that can turn things around, and a change that you've decided has brought that, hasn't it? Yeah, and look, we showed a lot of character to come back and things, but we're a good side, and as I said, at the minute, you look at Exeter, they won 4-0 today. And they're taking opportunities. Now that's what we got to do, because I don't want to fall behind, because we should be on the front foot. Now we've got sets us up nicely, because it's important not to lose today. It really was, because we don't like losing back-to-back games, and we don't often do that. But it's a missed opportunity with the penalty, but they show great character to come back in, and now it sets us up for an important week and some home games that, look, we need to take maximum for. Danny Hilton obviously coming straight back into the side after his suspension. Your other change today, Jake Gray coming in. Jonathan Smith, assume out injured for the foot injury he picked up on Tuesday.
Yeah. Look, he'd cut his foot and he had stitches in it, so it's a little bit swollen, a little bit sore, so we couldn't. Look, we missed his energy in that today in terms of things. We missed a bit of physicality in the centre of the park. As I said, he was a miss, but look, it's a good opportunity for others to come in and to stake their claim. It's just, as I said, for up until the goal, I felt we were a little bit disappointed, and then second half we showed a bit more what we were about.
And Ollie Palmer, just a word on him specifically coming in on loan from Leyton Orient to give you that added dimension to your strike force.
Yeah, and look, and he did that. You know, he's that aerial threat, and he can get you up the park, and then we've got others who can run off him. So it's an interesting one. We knew we can sort of change shape and have a little different tactic now. So that's good. It's important to have that, because every other side up the top of the league has that. In terms of one they can play off, so it's good, and as I said, the others will benefit from that.
And we look ahead now. We've got the Tuesday night, the Checkatrade Trophy game against Yeovil, and then a couple of home league games at Kenilworth Road as well. So an important 10 days coming up.
Yeah, really, really important. And as I said, we we need to not miss opportunities. We can't really miss too many more opportunities. Now look, we're in decent form in terms of where we are and so on. Others have dropped points, others have won, and so on. So it's not unbridgeable, the gap, but we keep missing opportunities. As I'm saying, today would have been a great opportunity. Tuesday night was a great opportunity. Now we've said it's an onus now, so I'm going to put pressure on them. They can't miss opportunities because it's too important, and entering a real vital stage of the season.
You've mentioned the missed opportunities there. As a point I was going to make next is after Tuesday it could have been only 1 point off Carlisle. Today it's now back to 6 points again.
Yeah, but we've got to play them, and as I said, it's a lot. We're 2 home games now. We can't look what Carlisle are doing, we can't look what Plymouth are doing, or Doncaster, or anyone above us. What we have to do is just make sure that we concentrate on what we do. And as I said, if we do that, and if we'd been better, defended counter-attacks better the other day, wouldn't have had a problem. If we'd scored a penalty, a 95th minute penalty today, again we wouldn't have had a problem, and we'd be looking at a different scenario. But we've got to eradicate these little things that are costing us games, because time eventually will run out.
Lovely, thank you for your time, Nathan.
It's 3-3 for Isaac. You must be really pleased that the Bain of
Luton Town manager.
Yeah, of course. And you always want your strikers to score. You always want, well, I don't care who scores, but you always want your strikers to score. And I said he's in good form and he's hungry. I mean, to be fair, it was in a 40-minute period, because he weren't at it the first half. He was nowhere near the levels that we expect. And then obviously he's got his goal, which we're really pleased at. And as I said, we looked more of a threat second half, and he came into that.
It was great play by Pillay, set it up. He chased lost cause, won it back, and got the crossover too.
Yeah, good. I thought he was excellent, especially when he got to grips with the game, and again more second half. Because I don't think I could really single anyone out that was excellent in the first part of the game, because I don't think we were. But sort of the second half of the game, we showed what a good side we are. But it's just a shame that it was such a small part of the game.
Did you feel that keeper Stuart Moore had a more assured performance out there today?
Yeah, look, it was a difficult game for him to come in. I know what Stuart can do. I've watched him enough, and it was a very difficult game for him to come in for the other day, because he only knew in the morning he was coming, then he had to travel, he had to sign, he had to go back to a hotel he didn't know, then he had to get up, come in, meet new players. Then it was a difficult game, and then he was under pressure from the first quarter. So look, there's a lot of things that things. So you just hope you get through the first game unscathed, and then we can build from there, you know. And I said, even someone like Johnny Mitchell, when he came here last time, had a great debut, but we got him on the Friday, we had him down, we met him, we met a few people and stuff, and then he came in, he met all the boys, so we had a bit more time to settle. But with Stuart, it was a difficult one, you know.
But the goal couldn't do much for the goal stay, really, could it?
No. We just got to defend that better, our box. We had a couple of opportunities, because it was like second and third phase that they scored from. So we got to defend that better in all aspects, and we didn't. And then that gave them that, you know. And that's a shame, because, as I said, if it had been 0-0, then look, we were strong. We finished the game very, very strong, and should have won it.
In the run-in, how important will it be to have that added dimension of being able to fight fire with fire when teams are a bit more direct against you?
Yeah, I mean, look, we tried to get it in the summer, but we couldn't, and so on. We couldn't quite do it. We knew what we had to get. We knew what we needed first, and then we obviously wanted to get that, but we couldn't. So we've been a different way. But now, see, we've looked at it for a couple of months and looked at who we could bring in, and we're delighted to have got Ollie. But it gives us another dimension. It gives, because we're a good side, we're a good passing side, and we tried to play, and then obviously sides tried to combat that, but then now we have another option, and it's good to have that. So if they want to press us or they want to sit in, then yeah, we'll use the big man. We've got Danny back, got Isaac now, then we've got Jack, who came on and had an impact again. So we've got 4 as good as strikers as there are in the league, and variation, probably the best variation in the league as well.
So it's very much a plan B that you've got now.
I don't think it's just a plan B. I think it's an option. It's another option. Now, you know, we've got an option of changing shape, an option of playing wide ones, and we bring in Luke and things. So they're all options. They're not exactly plan Bs. We're saying, if this don't work, we'll go to that. Sometimes you might use that from the start, you know. So it's just utilising the assets we got. And as I said, the 4 we have up there will provide competition, will provide a test for any team.